They need to find out what's really going on. That's like never happened before. This is nothing like the first term.
Are you open to Elon buying TikTok? Are you open to Elon buying TikTok?
I would be if he wanted to buy it, yeah.
Like the first term, he had a bunch of neocons in the cabinet, and there's a bunch of shady people that he didn't know, and he had to appoint all these different people. Maybe he got some bad picks.
We're running this country like President Trump runs the Trump Organization, like Elon Musk's running X. That's what we're doing.
Now he's had 4 years to stew on it. With you guys all going through this, we're getting an understanding of the government that we've literally never had before.
Hold on, this is a revolutionary cap. Joe Rogan has just gone off on Donald Trump, and it's about time. After years of giving him the benefit of the doubt, Rogan has finally snapped over Trump's latest disturbing stunt. So, what pushed him over the edge? Was it another ridiculous tweet, a meltdown, or something even more outrageous? Rogan is now calling out the man he once defended. And let's just say, it's absolutely savage. This is the moment everyone's been waiting for, and you won't believe what happens next.
Are getting, like, lassoed up and deported and sent to, like, El Salvador prisons. Like that kind of shit. Because I read some story. It was Glenn Greenwald.
It was.
Yeah. The gay barber guy.
Yeah.
It's scary, man.
Is that
That's
true?
But before we move on, smash that like button and subscribe, because you definitely don't want to miss this one. It seems Joe Rogan has finally had enough. After years of towing the line, giving Trump the benefit of the doubt, and playing the let's wait and see game, Rogan has hit his breaking point. And when Joe Rogan turns on you, it's like your entire fan base just hit the unsubscribe button with the force of 1,000 jet skis. Rogan's sudden shift away from Trump isn't just a plot twist. It's like watching your favorite movie villain realize he's been rooting for the wrong side the whole time. And honestly, who could blame him? Trump's latest stunt is about as well thought out as a toddler with a crayon and a blank wall. If you've been living under a rock, let me catch you up.
Up with the gangs, and then like how long before that guy can get out? Like, can we figure out how to get him out? Is there any plan in place to alert the authorities that they've made a horrible mistake and correct it?
Well, if you think about it from a government perspective, and this is where I think it gets quite sinister, is once you've done that, the incentive structure is never going to be to admit that.
Trump, in his infinite wisdom, and I use that term very loosely, pulled off a stunt so absurd that even Joe Rogan couldn't ignore it anymore. We're talking about the kind of move that practically screams, "I'll do anything for attention," and "I have no idea what I'm doing." The fact that Rogan, who has stood by Trump through thick and thin, even when Trump struggled to string a coherent sentence together, has finally hit the wall and said, "Nope, this is too much," says everything you need to know about how far out of touch with reality Trump has become. So, let's unpack this. Because Trump's latest stunt wasn't just poorly executed, it was a full-blown...
For Donald Trump, even when the situation is quite indefensible, but now we do have a story where Joe Rogan is like, dude, Trump went way too far here. And just to back up for a second, I think stories like this that break through to the broader populace are very important for us to hammer home on. As much as I disagree with Republicans on just about everything, they are good at finding these small, kind of dumb, insignificant stories and then blowing them up into national cases.
Disaster. We're talking about a guy who's been playing the political game for years, yet somehow still manages to pull a move so cringeworthy, it makes even his most loyal supporters want to crawl under a rock. This was like watching someone set their own house on fire, then look around confused, asking, "Why is everyone upset?" It was so poorly thought out, so tone-deaf, that even Joe Rogan, who's built a career on giving people second chances, couldn't keep up the charade any longer. And the funniest part? Trump probably still thinks he's winning. Let's talk about the stunt in question, because as you can probably guess, it was nowhere near a well-executed move. Trump, in classic form, decided it was a brilliant idea to insert himself into a completely avoidable controversy, one that had nothing to do with his core political platform and everything to do with self-interest and poor judgment. Imagine this. The world is in the middle of a global pandemic, and instead of focusing on, I don't know, actual issues, Trump decides to dive headfirst into a mess that didn't even concern him. That's Trump for you, always picking the wrong battles, always jumping into fights that have nothing to do with him, and somehow always making himself the loudest voice in the room, for all the wrong reasons. And Joe Rogan, who's been one of Trump's most unapologetic supporters over the years, has finally had enough. He's watched Trump stumble through politics, making decisions that sparked chaos both at home and abroad. But this latest stunt? Even Rogan couldn't look the other way anymore. It's like he was waiting for that final straw, the moment that would finally make him see Trump for what he really is. A man more obsessed with stirring controversy than actually leading. And this move? Oh, it was the straw. And it was straw heavy. If there's one thing Trump has mastered, it's keeping people talking about him. Unfortunately, this time the buzz is all because he did something spectacularly dumb. But hey, at least he's still trending, right? That's the Trump way. Do something reckless, outrageous, or completely off the rails. And if you can't be remembered for doing something smart, you might as well be remembered for making
$5 million? You could just become a citizen now?
If we sell 1 million, that's $5 trillion. 5 trillion.
Clear the debt with 10 million people? I never thought of that. Like, what?
If we sell 10 million, which is possible, 10 million highly productive people coming in, that's $50 trillion.
You can make $50 trillion that way? And then we have 15 trillion in the bank? Whoa.
That means our debt is totally paid off and we have 15
How many people do have that?
This time, his antics had all the subtlety of a bull in a china shop, except the china shop was a fragile political landscape, and the bull was, well, Donald Trump. The result? A trail of broken trust, broken alliances, and broken logic. Honestly, it's almost impressive how he consistently inserts himself into absurd situations where everyone loses. Since he can't win a political debate with facts, he manufactures drama like a reality TV villain. And guess what? People are finally starting to catch on. Even Joe Rogan, who spent years analyzing people's motives, behaviors, and BS, has finally seen through it. He's realized Trump isn't just a political figure anymore. He's a circus act. And the worst part? He's bad at it. Let's be real. Trump's entire political career has been one stunt after another, all designed to distract from the glaring lack of substance behind his rhetoric. Every time he pulls something like this, he's not being strategic. He's just doubling down on his own incompetence. It's like watching a guy mash random keys on a keyboard, hoping it'll somehow spell genius. Spoiler alert, it won't. And now, even Joe Rogan, known for his no-nonsense take on people's behavior, has finally snapped and said what the rest of us have been thinking all along. This isn't just reckless. It's a full-blown train wreck. Now let's talk about Trump's complete inability to recognize just how tone-deaf he's become. It's not like he lacks the resources or access to smart advisors. He could easily surround himself with people who might help him avoid these constant disasters. But nope. Trump's the guy who always thinks he knows best. Even when his choices lead to chaos, he somehow convinces himself he's the smartest.
The letter, but it's very important to them, so they'll be probably coming down to Washington, D.C. on Friday for the delivery of a letter. I look forward to that. Other than that, the economy is good, stock market's up, a lot of jobs, best unemployment we've had in many, many decades, actually. And we're going to Dallas, we're going to Houston, and we're going to have a little fun today. Thank you very much.
And honestly, that's where the real comedy kicks in. Watching a man who's spent his entire life failing upward double down on the belief that he's always right. It's like watching a dog try to climb a tree, then bark at everyone who points out it's not working. Newsflash, Donald, you're not a squirrel. Joe Rogan finally saw the writing on the wall. After years of giving Trump the benefit of the doubt, he just couldn't ignore it anymore. Trump wasn't just fumbling his chances at being an effective leader, he was actively throwing them away. It was like watching someone burn through their life savings for no reason, then scream that everyone else is to blame for their bad decisions. Rogan's frustration is obvious and understandable. For all his criticisms of the establishment, he still values accountability. And with Trump, accountability doesn't exist. He's the guy who makes a mess, then points fingers at everyone else while pretending he's been the innocent one all along. And the thing is, Rogan isn't alone. More and more people are starting to realize that Trump's antics aren't just embarrassing, they're genuinely harmful. People who once admired him, who believed he was the answer to their political frustrations are waking up to a hard truth. He's not the solution. He's the problem. Trump has become the kind of figure who'd rather chase headlines with outrageous stunts than sit down, think critically, and actually get something meaningful done. And that's exactly what Joe Rogan, known for his grounded, logic-first perspective, could no longer ignore. Trump's treating politics like a reality show, and not even in an entertaining way. It's reckless, it's exhausting, and it's finally catching up to him. But here's the thing about Trump. He doesn't care. His ego is so massive it could fill an entire stadium, and that's what keeps him going. It doesn't matter if his decisions are disastrous or if his stunts flop. He thrives on the attention. The fact that Joe Rogan, one of the most influential voices in media, is finally calling him out for this is a huge moment. It's not just about Trump's lack of competence. It's about how much he depends on shock value to stay relevant. He's like the kid in the back of the classroom throwing spitballs because, hey, it's the only way he knows how to get noticed. And now here we are. Joe Rogan, the man who spent years giving Trump a pass, has finally had enough. He's seen the stunts, the chaos, and the complete lack of self-awareness. And now, he's calling it out for what it is, a clown show. Honestly, we're all here for it. Watching Trump's antics unravel has been like watching a poorly scripted reality show, where everyone knows what's coming next, but they can't look away. Rogan may have just delivered the final nail in the coffin for Trump's political future. Because once you've lost someone like Rogan, you've truly lost the plot. The best part? Trump is still out there strutting around like he's winning, while the rest of us sit back, popcorn in hand, just waiting for the next train wreck to, unfold. And let's be real, it's only a matter of time before the next catastrophe. But this time, we're not even stressed about it. Nope. We're laughing all the way through because honestly, there's nothing more entertaining than watching someone destroy their own brand with the sheer weight of their own ego. It's like watching a slow-motion car crash in high definition, and we can't look away. But here's the kicker. In Trump's case, it's not just a regular crash. It's a full-blown spectacle, a comedy show that's been running for years and somehow keeps getting better. The man's ego is so inflated, he thinks he can pull off stunts that would make anyone else's head explode. And guess what? Every time he does it, he somehow finds a way to make it even worse. It's like watching a stand-up comedian bomb their set, except instead of walking off stage, they double down, triple down, and make sure everyone knows just how completely clueless they are. The most beautiful part of this entire disaster? Trump genuinely thinks he's still in control. He's out there making grandiose statements, claiming victory after victory, while the rest of us sit back and enjoy the train wreck of the century.
Truly lost the plot.
After markets tumbled on Friday and with consumer confidence falling, the president told me he's not backing down on his tariff plans.
What we're going to be doing is a 25% tariff on all cars that are not made in the United States. If they're made in the United States, there's absolutely no tariff.
And the president telling me the auto tariffs are, quote, absolutely permanent. And on fears of foreign automakers raising prices, quote, I couldn't care less.
Post something ridiculous on Twitter, and for a brief moment, everyone pretends it's not just another desperate attempt to keep his name in the headlines. But here's the catch. Nobody believes him anymore. He's like that guy who keeps showing up to the party telling the same old stories, but this time, no one's listening. They're too busy laughing at him instead. And honestly, it's the most entertaining thing we've seen in a long time. The funny part is, Trump doesn't even seem to realize that the more he pushes, the more he's undermining his own credibility. It's like he's on some bizarre autopilot, thinking that if he just screams loud enough, people will listen. But no one's buying it anymore. Every meltdown, every rant, every ridiculous stunt just pulls him deeper into a hole. He's so focused on staying relevant that he can't see.
I'm not saying that Trump doesn't care about